something very important, and inshallah I will finish on this point, or the point that follows. The Shaykh goes on to say that he said, rahimahullah, he says that all of these ways being followed by these people, where they try to unite you or attach you to other than the Quran, the adillah of the Quran, Sunnah, and the way of the Salaf. He said, these types of solutions that these people are trying to bring, such as the Ikhwan, he says, الصحيح ليس هو هذا العلاج السياسي الإخواني. Right? This is not the right cure. This Ikhwani type of uniting people, which they've been trying to do for 70 years, uniting together the Rawafid and the Sufiya and even the Nasara, right? The Ikhwanis, they bring together the Rafida and the Sufis, even the Christians. Come work with us, the Christians. Come with us to help us establish an Islamic state, right? Like they did in Egypt. So the Shaykh is saying that these people, when they left the right methodology, over the passing of days, over the passing of time, the problems of the Muslims only increased in their severity and their violence, right? The problems got worse. And these people, they never ceased going further and further astray, further away from the book and the Sunnah and the way of the Salaf, until ولا تزال دائرة منهجهم تتسع حتى أصبحوا دعاة إلى وحدة الأديان وعقدوا لها مؤتمرات في دولتهم. Right? So the Shaykh is saying, these people, they left the way of the prophets and messengers, and they chose a deviant methodology. Then, when they chose the deviant methodology, the circle that they entered expanded more and more and more, until they then eventually even began calling to the unity of religions. Right? And they began to hold conferences for the unity of religions. Meaning, you start off with something where you leave the truth, then by necessity you are going to expose yourself to an expanding circle of other misguidance until you reach the level, in this case, where you start calling to unity of religions. Now the Yahud and the Nasara, they are your brethren. They are upon a deen which is Samawi, which is revealed, which is acceptable to Allah. This is where these people went. So and in this there's a wider point. I want to stick on this point, because if you do not hold to the truth when it comes to you on any issue, we've been ordered to hold on to the truth. Ya Yahya, khudh al-kitaba biquwwa. O Yahya, hold on to the book with strength. Well, we've been commanded to do that, right? In the Quran. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. We've been ordered to hold fast to the rope, to hold the rope. Imagine you're on a rope and you're hanging off a cliff, and you're gonna die. You have to hold on to that rope like this, right? We've been ordered to hold on to the rope. Likewise, the hadith of Irbad bin Sariya, عَدُّوا عَلَيْهَا بِالنَّوَاجِذ. Bite onto it with your molars. These similitudes haven't been given for no reason, right? That you have to bite onto the truth when it comes to you. Likewise, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا. Indeed, those who say our Lord is Allah, and then they remain steadfast. If you say my Lord is Allah, my Rabb is Allah, meaning my Ilah is Allah, then you have to abide, you have to make istiqamah upon that. Which means that you worship Him alone, and you worship Him in the way that His messenger taught you to worship Him. This is istiqamah. So you say one thing, then you have istiqamah upon that truth, right? This is the nature of the truth. If you don't hold fast in the way that's been given, then what will happen is that this da'irah, this circle of your potential misguidance, will become wider and wider and wider and wider, and then eventually you'll end up somewhere where you never imagined you would end up. This is how people become misguided. And so the same thing applies to Salafiyya. If you say, I'm Salafi, I'm upon the Salafi Aqidah, I'm upon the Salafi Manhaj, then that has a requirement from you. It has necessities, right? In the positions that you take, the positions that you hold. right? What you see is haqq and batil in the various masail, your allegiance, your loyalty, your disloyalty, right? If you ignore these things, and when the truth comes to you and you don't hold on to the truth in an issue, what will happen over time? The circle, because you showed indifference to that truth, you didn't value the truth. What will happen now is that this issue will grow and grow and grow, and soon you won't realize, but you, just like these ikhwanis, they started from one point intending good to establish Islam. They left the methodology of the prophets, and step by step by step by step by step, the circle of misguidance became wider and wider and wider, till you start calling to unity of religions, right? You've removed the barrier of Islam and kufr, iman and kufr. Likewise with Salafiyah. If you say, I'm Salafi, just like say, my Lord is Allah, you got to worship Allah alone. If you say, I'm Salafi, you got to act upon the Salafi usul, the Salafi methodology in all the various fields of knowledge, in manhaj, in mu'amala, in your ibadah, in rudud, in refutations, in everything. You got to follow the Salafi methodology. If you do not, and you don't hold on to the truth when it comes to you in an issue, step by step by step, you will end up in a position that will not be praiseworthy. This is how people go astray. And so at one time people are strong, and then they end up being weak, and they can't distinguish between haqq and batil, and they don't have the the strength and the fortitude to stand up for the truth and to speak the truth and to be with the people who are upon the truth. This is what will happen. This is what will happen. So the point being that the distinguishing feature of those upon the way of the Salaf is that they attach people to the Quran and to the adillah, as the Shaykh said, the adillah of the Quran and the Sunnah, and to the way of the Salaf. This is what we attach people to, and this is what people remember, right? Why is Imam Ahmad remembered? He attached people to the adillah of the Quran, Sunnah, and the way of the Salaf. Imam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, why is he remembered? Is because he attached people to the Quran and the Sunnah and the way of the Salaf. So this is a distinguishing feature second distinguishing feature of the Salafi da'wah, is that we attach people to the Quran and to the Sunnah and to the way of the Salaf.